All right, Danielle needs 3 small mirrors, a craft stick. Here's your tape. Here's a ruler for measuring the tape. Your string or your yarn is in here.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be. Okay, so and then we can get it onto here. It's gonna be more darker when it's like when the lights go off and stuff. Angle it up, but then you're covering up that one. Okay. So we're gonna have to put the mirror right there and get this mirror out of there. And then we can put a mirror here. Angle it. Or I was gonna say right there. You can put it here. And you could tape something to it. And then we can like keep it up. Like we can use half the popsicle stick so it can be like a stand. Okay. So and then we can break another mirror and it can go over here. So we can break this in half and put tape and then tape and scissors. Yep, that's good. Abby, look it. There's a reflection over here, Abby. I just gotta move it.
There's a big space on the floor.
We missed one bit because the mirror is blocking it. Maybe if we stand them out. I don't know if that would work or not.
I think your flashlight is too far.
Daniela, look it.
See, it's not on B. I can't see a B barely.
No, it's not on B.
It's on everything except B, D, E, and F.
I think it's a 3. Yeah, it's a 3. It's a 3.
Yep. Okay, so let me just ask you why. So what are you noticing that you're saying, okay, we need another mirror?
Because we can light up this one, and this one, but that one doesn't. But sometimes this falls and it doesn't get either.
Okay, so what you're actually doing, because you are so advanced in your engineering brain, you've got such a wrinkly engineering brain, that you're actually skipping over that whole you're actually testing and improving at the same time. So what I really need you to do for the on paper part is I need you to score it the way that it is now. And then for your second design, that's when you can see, okay, what difference would a second mirror, a small mirror make? Okay, so do all your scores, intensity and cost, do it all for the way you set it up this time, and then we'll look and see how it might be improved. You can return any materials that you won't use in your second design to me. And if you need something in addition or something different, I can give you that.
Or your improved lighting system design. Then create a test your design to see if your improvements work.
So we decided to move the little mirror a little bit closer to the larger mirror.
So your total cost. So you have an improvement plan?
Is it 3? North side. And north is 3.
Exactly where we need it, but it's not sticking.
Now let it go.
You can't see any of these though. You can see that one.
That one's already reflecting on that one, so we don't even have to worry about it.
Yeah, I like how you.
I mean, it could use a little bit more, but I mean, it's not. Okay.
Yes, you got it.
It works. Yep. Keep going.
Yep, it's still on.
Still on?
Yeah.
All right. Try it with the light. Go in this hole and try it. Oh, it is a little.
Oh. And then our total score of intensity would be a 3.
All right, 5S, you know, after each time that we do any kind of small group work like this, it always helps us to make sense out of what was done by sharing out what happened. What we're going to do is I'm going to have everyone share their design number 1 scores for cost and for intensity. So if you did a second design but you didn't have a chance to score it yet, it's okay. So what was your cost score?
6.
A 6. And what was your intensity score?
2.
Group 2, what was your cost score?
6.
6, and your intensity score? 18. All right, so let's look at this. So what do we notice about most of the group's costs scores? Zachary?
They all use less money.
Right, most groups, as a generalization, most groups had a 6 because their cost was less than $350. Do you think that having spent less money always guarantees success? No, right, exactly. So there's no guarantee that as long as you spend less than $3.50 that you're going to necessarily have the best design. Looking at intensity scores, there were some groups that had high intensity scores, 17, 18, 21 being the highest. Did the groups that had the highest intensity scores always have the the highest cost score? No, not always. 2 of them, the group who had a score of 17 had also spent in the least category for money, so they had a 6. Group 2, who also had a high intensity score, they had not spent so much money. All right, so looking at this and thinking about this, if your highest score that you could get for cost was a 6, all of these groups already maxed out their cost score. They could not possibly improve their cost score because they're already at the highest level. The highest intensity score that you could get was a 4 for each, and there were 6 hieroglyphs. So what's the highest intensity score that you could have gotten? A 24. So was every group open to improving their intensity score? Absolutely. So everyone could have improved their intensity score. We're going to go around to the other tombs, carefully maneuvering around the room to go and see, well, how did somebody else do it? What did they do the same as us? What did they do different?
You did a pretty good job. Who helped you?
It was me, Danielle, and Dawn. We just put a mirror in here, so the light that was going to A reflects off here. But the cardboard helps because it's slightly reflective. So some of the light over here went to B, and then some of the light from the cardboard over here went to here. And also some of the light reflected to the mirror to over here.
So now I see how you got all the lights everywhere, on the corners.
If I see how you were doing it, because yes, that's a good idea, but how did you get C to reflect into B? So you should have, maybe if you guys improve it, what you guys should do, should have maybe a big or a little mirror.
You should have a big mirror.
You have a little mirror and have reflect it onto B, so you would have it all, and so you would have more intensity. Yeah, we did have a mirror right here, so it would go right here, and then we had another mirror right there, so it would reflect on that.
Yeah, because you could put a big mirror here. I mean, you can reflect here, and then you put a small mirror facing that way. How did you get the flashlight to reflect off this mirror?
Because we knew that if we covered the mirror with the whole thing, it wouldn't cover that. So we tried to put it at an angle where it would hit C and let it go past, so we could hit A.
So what do you think they spent more money on, Neftali? Why do you think their cost was so high? Yeah, they used more. What size mirror?
Large.
More of the large mirrors, and that made it more expensive, right? But do you feel like the cost was worth it?
Yeah, basically light it up almost all of them. Yeah. It's just that they kept falling, so it moved.
And plus the way the mirrors are, it's casting a shadow on them.
When we do data sharing in my class, the premise is always, let's just see where everyone else was, because they're so social and then so they're always so interested in what everybody else is doing. And in fact, we had a whole thing this year about declaring their own personal independence. Just be your own learner, and it's very hard some kids would rather just be left alone, and then there's other kids who have to know what everyone else is doing, and that's just part of their persona. So it affords the student who wants to be left alone to not have to stand up and speak in front of everyone, but still we're getting the benefit of what they found out from some member of their group. After the sharing at the carpet, the speaking member of that group, she came up to me and she said, I really think I did something wrong with these scores. So I went over with her, we looked at her tomb because I asked them to keep them set up, and I said, but look, if that's where the most intense light was, then you would still be able to see it through the darkest section of that intensity meter. And she says, yeah. I said, so really you flipped that scale. Every time you should have had a 4, you gave yourself a 0, and every time you should have had a 3, you gave yourself a 1. And so she said, oh, well that makes a ton more sense.